Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. And today we're going to look at one of the most underrated dimes of the modern era, and that's the 1978 United States dime. It's not worth much. And why isn't it worth much? Well, it's not worth much because it looks like they used really worn dies to make them. If you look at it on the PCGS website, there are no examples at all of MS68 or higher with full bands. There are only 2 examples of MS68 or higher at all. So this is one of the ones where sometimes people take a flyer on the 1978 dime if they think it's in really good condition. You know, it might be worth something, but if you get an MS65 dime from 1978, it's going to be worth $7 to $15. If you get MS66, it might only be worth $18 to $20 unless you get some kind of special feature on it. Let's look at these ones. This is a Philadelphia one. This one right here, as you can tell, or maybe you can't tell, from an uncirculated mint set. So this is as good as it gets. A little bit of doubling on the rim, which is kind of fun. That's always one of my favorite things to see because it means the rim's a little bit offset. But this isn't enough to make any money. It would have to be 30 or 40% offset to make it worth anything. Which way is it offset? Well, it goes that way. So see how the Liberty gets real close to the edge and this one actually touches the edge. So it's shifted over this way a little bit. It's a little bit too much space back here. We look at the coin that says Liberty in front, Franklin Roosevelt looking left, In God We Trust down here. Down at the very bottom we see a J and an S. That's for John Sinek, who's the engraver of these coins, the original engraver of these coins, which came out in 1946 as a 90% silver, 10% copper. In 1965 it was changed to the new copper nickel coated copper. 1978, you see no mint mark there. We tip it up on its side. We see the copper in the inside. We flip it over on the back, and this is the money shot for these and the reason that we don't have any high value ones. It says United States of America around the top, 1 dime at the bottom, E pluribus unum across the center, oak branch here with acorns on it, and a olive branch here with olives on it. You can't tell the difference between an olive over here and a acorn over here. That you shouldn't be doing these videos probably. This is a torch in the center. PCGS says they just used worn dies for all of the coins in 1968. So you will never find a MS68. Well, in fact, for the Philadelphia series, which we're looking at right here, PCGS says they've never found a full bands version from Philadelphia at all. Well, what's a full bands version, and why don't we have that here? We have a couple bands going across here, good separation. We have these bands coming down. We have, don't even have bands on the side of this one. If we tip it side to side, you see the line doesn't even go all the way across. So that's really what happened is these lines, they kind of pressed in the middle, but they didn't press on the sides. Can't get a full band version without having the lines going all the way up and down and with separation all the way across both the top and bottom bands on this torch. So no full bands version of the Philadelphia coin. What about the Denver Mint coin? Well, the Denver Mint coin, they actually do have a full bands version of the Denver Mint coin. It's an MS66, so that's as high as it goes. There isn't an MS67 or higher full bands version. Let's take a look at this one. Same thing, Liberty. This one has the D, and this D is an okay D. It's kind of, this is an uncirculated mint set coin, so you'd like it a little finer than that, but that's what they're talking about. They're really worn out. You don't even have much definition in the acorns here. Look at this band here. This is a coin that's never been circulated anywhere, and we can't get a band to go all the way across the bottom. On the top, we can't get it to go all the way to the left. So that's why the highest you've got, this might be a MS65, but even if it was only be worth $8 or $10. Certainly not worth maybe as much as $15. Certainly not worth getting it evaluated or graded. What do full bands look like? Well, let's see if we can at least find one on the San Francisco Mint coin. So in Philadelphia in 1978, they made 664 million of these. They just pumped them out. At Denver, they made 283 million. So between the two of them, about 900 million, almost a billion of the coins. At the San Francisco Mint, they made 3.1 million. This coin here is probably, because it's probably a proof 65 or above, but it's only worth about $2.50. We'll tip it up on its edge and we realize that it's copper nickel clad copper because they didn't start making the silver versions of these coins until the 90s. And then look at the back of this. So this is a proof set coin. This is the best you can get. And it just has a blurred bands going across the top, full bands almost going across the bottom, but they're blurred also. And the lines coming down are just not very good at all. Definitely good polishing. Everything else is just how you'd expect it from a proof coin. It's just that they just don't have the full bands version. So this one here in a proof 65, still only going to be worth about $2 or $3. You'd have to get up to 66 or 67 in the proof before you get into the 20s. All right, well, that's all we have today from DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Look for the 1978, look for the Philly, but only look through the really good condition coins because that's what you'll need.